everyone. Thanks for the introduction. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the McRobert Trust and also the Nuffield Farming Scholarship Trust for allowing for making this all possible, and also for additional support I received from the industry. My study topic was improving connectivity in the seed potato supply chain. How could I have known 2 years ago what we'd be facing today? But when we see disruption in supply chains, it's ultimately important to be connected. I'm going to take a moment to take you back to what the potato supply chain looks like, and I'm going to ask you to consider the potato a bit like a fine Scottish whisky. There's a lot of similarities between the two systems. It takes many years to produce a quality potato, as it does a whisky. It also has great global reputation, and it has competition in international markets. A lot of expertise and skill goes into producing the product, and science is what underpins the product remaining constant as you are a consumer. How do we make sure that connectivity through this long specialist process remains key to advancement in the industry? I'm going to consider connectivity as a way of sharing information, as using platforms to get together, and also sharing the environment in which we operate. Before I started my study, I wanted to understand where our starting point was and how to communicate some of the issues I could see as working in the fresh produce supply chain. And this is looking at supplier segmentation. I took the Krajic's matrix, which was in the Food Supply Chain Management and Logistics put together by Samir Dani. This compares profit impact to supply risk, creating 4 areas of supplier segmentation. Non-critical transactional products would be considered to be your office supplies, which would be low risk and low impact on profit. Then you have 2 tactical areas in your segmentation, leverage and bottleneck. Leverage issues items would be like fuel or fertilizer inputs. Your bottleneck items, they'd be considered, I don't think we would have thought this before, but toilet roll would be your bottleneck items. They're tactical, but they can be high risk because you can't just build a new factory to deliver more. But what I'm focusing on is strategic items. And what are strategic items? A small number of suppliers that we have very close working relationship with the buyer based on transparency, joint communication, and sharing of operational information. The supplier has sufficient power in this relationship. And I believe as the number of potato farmers in the UK reduces, potato production is strategic and must be looked at that way. And this is why sharing information is becoming so important. So where did I go during my travel? I decided I wanted to compare developed markets, which have increasing numbers of large numbers of farmers, increasing population, and grassroots systems. And in comparison to developed markets, which are multi-level, complex, small numbers of farmers, and large numbers of consumer with economically lots of money available. So where do we go from there? The environment, not something we normally consider for a potato crop, but we have to be connected in the environment that we operate. And the potato actually offers lots of opportunity here. We've considered the environment as something that we need to manage and control. But the potato actually as a crop is low impact on CO2 and also is efficient with water use. So ultimately it's better than rice or pasta. But how do we make this work? And sometimes you find the answers in the most unreal places. While I was in Kenya, I met Matomi. He's a farmer who relies on his potato crop as his main source of income. He has 5 acres and he has a truly regenerative system, and it was amazing. So he uses the potatoes as a way of income for the business. He'd invested in a lagoon. He used that to feed the animals. He used it to irrigate the land. And as you can see here, there might be a bit of a weed issue, but actually if you consider that, it's because the land is so fertile and things grow really fast. He's using everything to its absolute fullest potential. After the inspirational meeting I had with him, as he showed me everything that was connected on this 5-acre unit, I asked him, where does he go next and when does he buy his next farm? And he looked at me like I was absolutely crazy. He explained to me, why would he buy another farm? Why would he get bigger when there is more potential in the land he has and there's more he could still achieve? And I thought this was such an amazing message. We talk about regenerative systems and we talk about scale. And this man was doing something that we find often difficult to achieve. Markets. Access to market is crucial, and you cannot underestimate having the consumer nearby. I met with farmers in Chile who are isolated. The tyranny of distance is not favourable to the potato. They have oceans and mountains that keep them away from markets. So therefore, when I met other people around the world, the market was one of the biggest questions. Where do you sell to and how do you access to it? And here is George Asori, who was part of the Syngenta Foundation. He talked to me about production systems and how to improve potato production in Kenya. However, what was most fascinating was this development in actually understanding what the market was and where this product was going to. Here he shows me hand-cooked chips in Nairobi. Nairobi is a population of 4.4 million people and increasing by 3 to 4% year on year. This offers huge opportunity for small farmers in this area. 3 to 4 hours away, you can ship your potato products into the market. And I suppose if you consider where we are today with disruption in markets, being able to be agile, being able to change your product and quickly get into a market that shows lots of opportunity is so critical for any supply chain. Hand-cooked chips are an opportunity because it takes low investment, because it's local produced. You just need to be able to fry the chips and then there you are, you're into the market. It's great. These are the opportunities that we need to be quicker to access in the UK and take away some of these barriers to markets. Technology. There's so much technology innovation available. It's really exciting. The spaces in the UK, we really lead the way, but where do we go from there? The fast-paced progress in tech is wider than just ag offers. Then there's many, many opportunities. But this could be disruptive, as I learned about true seed. This would take the years and years of multiplication, it would reduce that. But it will mean that we have to adapt our processes and understand how we deliver the product in new ways. The UK models, again, are multi-levered and complex. So we need to focus on deploying innovation that encourages simple whole system approaches. But there's huge opportunity within this, and it should reduce time and waste in the systems that we operate. I think it's absolutely important that the exciting technology that we apply to businesses means it's easier to produce the potato and find the right purpose for the technology in the system. Collaboration is critical through a supply chain. Here I was visiting James Narodi again in Kenya. He was a first generation farmer. He'd set up his own business, and he was able to help teach farmers in his area who would ultimately be the customers for his seed potatoes and how to get great crops, great yields from the seed that he was selling them. And then as I was leaving the field, this group of researchers had come to visit him. They'd driven 2 hours to learn about his business, what he was doing, and ultimately how he wanted to see the potato industry going forward. It was a great sight of true collaboration, and in the field, scientists coming to him to learn about the importance of the potato sector. So what does this mean for opportunities for agriculture in the UK? So now, connectivity is a mindset, not a process. The mindset of anyone working in the agriculture sector cannot be fixed. I met with people all along my Nuffield travels who demonstrated that intelligence and talent can be developed and strengthened through growth. Wherever you are in the world, people are building connections to the environment, to knowledge, and to people. Strategic partnerships to strengthen their businesses. So where do we go from here? On the 24th of November, I invite you to join an AHB conference that I've put together. This used to be a seed industry conference, but I've explained we cannot do this without connecting to the whole industry and understanding where we want to go. So this will be opening up networks across the world in the potato sector, embracing the digital revolution and pulling together innovation. I hope you can join me, and I hope you're as excited for the future of the potato sector as I am. I'd just like to thank, well, firstly, my family for putting up with all my potato talk over the last couple of years, and also the industry, because it's a fantastic place to work. It's always exciting, and there's always someone to discuss the hot topics. So the next time you sit down to eat a potato, consider the time and passion that goes into the product. Thank you very much.